Today I'm joined by Sal Mannino in New Jersey. Welcome to the show, Sal.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Sal's a good guy. I think you're going to like him. And Sal, tell me what you're doing for people online. Who is your ideal prospect, and what are some of the frustrations that they have that you can help them with?
So basically, what the main focus of my SB marketing team, we focus on brand building and personality growth. So basically, like that's like your basic social media influencer, somebody who wants to be up and coming, or maybe they struggle on one social media platform. Like maybe they're really good at TikTok, but they're not great at Instagram. So something that like my company would do is we would help them strategize on how they could grow on a different platform, or even grow on the platform that they're using. Right. Um, a lot of other things that we do is like verification for platforms, press release, stuff like that, because that kind of helps build the credibility for their social media branding. Is what they ultimately want to do. That's kind of our ideal
Awesome.
prospect.
That's interesting. All right. So what I want to talk about is which is the hardest one that you find social media platform? Which is the one? Is it TikTok? Are people saying, how the hell do I work out TikTok?
Are you talking about in the sense of growth wise?
Yeah, like they're saying, look, I want to get big on this platform. Which is the one that causes people the most difficulty?
I think the most difficulty would probably be Instagram, right? Because it's older. It's not as old as Facebook, because I mean Facebook could be ultimately hard to grow a page on, but not a lot of people are on there. Um, and I guess that also depends on who the age group is that somebody's trying to target as well. But I would say Instagram's the hardest to do because there's a lot of things that people don't think about behind it. You have to have kind of like two ways to look at it, right? Like you have to have a home base for your social media platform. And the best one to do that out of is going to be Instagram, right? Because you can have photos, you can write long-winded posts, you can have video content, you can have like that's where the bread and butter is, right? However, like TikTok is a place where there's called organic growth, right? So you have paid growth and you have organic growth. TikTok gives the best organic growth that there is in the market right now, right? And all these platforms have done it at some point where organic growth was very exponential on their platform, and then at some point it kind of like dwindles down. Do I think TikTok's going to be there anytime soon? I don't think so. I think it has a really good algorithm of people showing their videos and instantly becoming pretty much famous. Um, but kind of going back to it, I think people need to have their home base of like where they want to build their platform. I think TikTok's the hardest to do it on, but I think people need to be on TikTok. I'm sorry. I apologize. On Instagram is the hardest one to be on, but that's where people need to be in order to build their brand. Um, does it kind of answer that question?
That does. So that's kind of how I feel about if you're doing online marketing and you need to have a blog as your home
Mhm.
base, and then you can do everything from there. So, in your opinion, Instagram is kind of the key, home base for your social media. So, if
100%.
I if I was a business and I'm saying, okay, Sal, I need help. What's our strategy going to be? How are we going what to do on Instagram? What should I do?
Well, the first
Because
thing I
that's
want to,
really that's me.
yeah. So the first thing like I want to know about a small business is like what's their story, right? Because that's going to help me build a foundation of their content strategy. There's a lot of people out there that don't really focus on that business. And I think that's always because they get caught up in the financial situations and the money of it. But I personally believe that you want to build up small businesses and you want to understand their story, because that's how you build a personal connection with somebody, right? I want to be able to build a personal connection with my client, and I want my client to build a personal connection with their people, right? So when I'm talking about brand strategy, I want to know how people person they are. Maybe if it's a smaller business, like say even like the smallest business, like a pizza shop, like they want to build content around that. That's great. I want them to, take photos of their food. I want them to have people share testimonials of their food, like, and then I want to put that content on their social media pages, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be. I want them to share that because that's going to build their brand up. And people can give feedback and stuff like that, and that's where Instagram kind of comes into play, where like even like from a local perspective, like that is a great place to go, because a small business, like they can do like create posts for like they're doing a giveaway, like hey, a free pizza, or we're doing coupons or stuff like that, or they can just they can post testimonials of other people on there for people to see forever. You can see posts from 5 years ago, and kind of see like a paper trail of the credibility from a small business perspective.
Interesting. And do you get a bit of trouble with business owners, like where they say, "Look, hey, I'm so busy running the business. What am I going to be doing? Writing stories and putting them on." How do you make them produce the content?
So we do offer services ourselves that we can produce content. Like they just provide photos and we can post them and find out what hashtags would work for that post and stuff like that. But some companies or even small businesses they could have a kid in their shop that could do it for them, and maybe they just never thought about it. There's definitely more ways than one to do something. And I can understand why like maybe an older mom or pop that are in their 40s and 50s don't understand social media, but they might also be losing 20 to 30% of clientele that they could potentially have if they weren't on there, or if they were on there. So I think there's definitely ways around that obstacle, whether it's like hiring a third party like my company that we could do that in, or if it's simply hiring a local kid to post social media, whether you give them like $100 a week to post on 3-5 times a week on social media or something. There's definitely ways around that.
Interesting. And the other side of your business was kind of brand building.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to what's the process you take people through for that?
So there's two different like ways that I like to. It kind of depends on like what the brand is. Is it a business or is it a person, right? Because you can brand yourself or you can brand a business, or you can do both, right? So kind of how the way that works is I always talk about you can do it organically or you can do it paid. If you do it organically, it's going to take you 5 years. If you do it paid, it's going to take you maybe less than a year, right? You always want to build credibility with yourself. And there's so many different ways to do that. Some of it could be simply as just keep posting videos, get the organic growth on TikTok, which everybody that I work with, I recommend them doing that day one. Like that's my free piece of advice when I have a consultation with them or the first interview or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, look, are you on TikTok? Because if you're not on TikTok, you're not going to be able to build your brand. That's the best place to do it. It's the best place to do it for free because you literally could gain 20,000 followers overnight. The other option is to do like a paid media, which would be like through shout outs and giveaway campaigns and stuff like that to build your brand, which is also very good. But you have to have the financial obligation to be able to do that as well. Now you could do like bits and pieces here and there. Not that it's fully effective, but it does help in the long run, right? It's just one of those things when you're building a brand, like how quickly do you want to be there? Do you want to wait and be there in 5 years and potentially, that last 4 years miss out on so much more opportunities that you might have had if you kind of accelerate that growth? Or do you want to wait? That's kind of up to the client themselves. I always recommend trying to build, like we build personal packages for people to fit their needs, right? Like I'm never going to sell you something I don't think you need yet. Like maybe the stuff that I put in the package is I'm thinking long term, like verification, but I'm not going to sell you verification off the bat if you're not ready for it. If you're just starting out on Instagram or TikTok, I'm not going to sell you something that you don't need, right? So when I'm discussing brand building, I'm always thinking long term for what they express to me, and then what I think would be best for them, just based off of previous clients and stuff like that.
Mm. With TikTok, what sort of content do you need to do? Is it like shorter videos? I mean, I just can't imagine. Just say a coach, a person who does personal coaching. I mean, what would they do on TikTok?
Yeah, I mean, TikTok, I think there was a misconception with it when it first came out. It was just like a dancing platform, but there's so much more to TikTok now. You have up to 30-second videos you can post. You can post up to 3-minute videos. I prefer the short content aspect, like, and I'll take from like my personal experience, like you have long form content, right? That would be like this podcast, right? But then you can take clips of this podcast and post it as short form, like the hardcore, like 30 seconds of like the most meaningful part of the podcast, right? Like that's in a perspective of podcast. Maybe a gaming channel is trying to build a brand. They're going to post like some kind of epic clip Maybe somebody in sports, like football or baseball or whatever, they're gonna post the like that home run or that that touchdown or that goal or something like that. Like that's what they're gonna post in that 30-second clip that might go viral. Now, there's kind of like a method out there that people are trying, like whether using hashtags or not using hashtags is good. I always recommend using like 3 to 5 hashtags to really tell the algorithm what your video is about, right? Because if you just do something that's totally irrelevant to what the video is, like say you have a video on cooking, but you're hashtagging it football, gaming, and phone, like that's not going to take off. You're not going to get any credibility, and nobody's going to watch it because that's not what the video is about. So when you're making hashtags and you want your video to trend better, you want to pick hashtags that are going to be around that realm of the video. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Don't try and fake it. The algorithms know, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's bottom line. You don't want to fake something. I'm not going to watch something if it doesn't interest me. So why are you going to target people who aren't interested on your actual video?
Yeah, exactly. And with your strategy, what percentage do you lean towards organic versus paid? We say
Can you say
TikTok.
that again? You're cutting out there.
Sorry. So with your strategy for TikTok, what
Okay.
percentage of it would you lean towards organic versus paid growth?
I usually do like a 50-50 type deal. Organic growth is something you can't control, right? It works better for some people. People who are maybe funnier will go viral sooner than people who are posting gaming content. Viral is one of those uncontrollables that you can't control, right? Like you could post one video and get 100,000 subscribers or 100,000 followers tomorrow. I could post that same video and get 10,000, right? They're both organic, but for some reason yours went more viral than mine. Maybe you did end up using different hashtags, or maybe you just posted it at the right time slot for the right view count of people to watch it, right? Um, if you could control it, I would say 50-50. But again, it's one of those things that you can't control. And I don't always focus paid media on TikTok because the organic growth is great. I position it in the sense of like that's a free opportunity for you to grow quicker on top of the paid media that you should be doing. Kind of circling back around to Instagram, a lot of people don't know that a lot more features open up when you hit 10,000 followers, and you're not seeing. There's kind of like a micro influencer status, and that I kind of define that as between 10,000 and 100,000 followers is a micro influencer. Um, and if somebody who has like maybe a business or a store, or they want to sell T-shirts or something, until you hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, you don't even have those features open up to yet.
Interesting. Yeah. And all right. So now, if people want to get in touch with you, you've got your webpage. I'll bring that up. That's sbmarketingteam.com.
Yep.
And let's see if I can get you and your socials as well. I'm going to share the screen. How do I do that? All right. Anyway, sbmarketingteam.com and sb_marketing team on Insta. What's your TikTok? Same?
It's the same thing. SP Marketing Team.
No underscore?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
All the logos are the
Awesome.
same,
Well,
so it's pretty easy to find. It's a pretty uncommon name. So, and then my email is Sal _Mannino, yep, at sbmarketingteam.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think there's a lot of people interested in this stuff, and TikTok and Instagram growth is really something I've been thinking about a lot. And thanks for coming on, Sal. I think if you are in need of some services to really, I think it's time we need to focus on Instagram and TikTok. Reach out to Sal because I think Sal knows what he's talking about.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, and thanks for watching, everyone. See you very soon on another podcast. Bye.